All right. Winding it back up with RT Trevino, the oil and gas expert we turn to. He runs Pecos Country Energy, privately owned oil and gas exploration and production company in Fort Worth, Texas. He's up early. RT, nice to see you today.
Good morning, Steve. Good to see you.
Good to have you. All right, so there's a lot of speculation. Oh, my gosh. Oil's going to spike. Gas prices are going through the roof. Well, oil went up, I don't know, $8, $10 a barrel. It went up some. It was running really between 60 and 65. Now it's settled in about $71, $72 this morning. So it's up $8 or $10 a barrel. What does that mean for the consumer? What's that mean for a guy like me buying gasoline to go to work?
Well, what I'm hoping it means is that basically we're not going to see much in a change in the price at the pump. We absolutely saw some shockwaves through the global markets last Friday, while we saw our brothers and sisters in Israel go ahead and knock out some nuclear facilities in Iran. The good thing about that attack is that they didn't actually hit their oil and gas facilities, whether that's their oil fields or their refineries. If we actually saw something like that, we could see a real change in the price of oil and, more importantly, the price at the pump. I remember I was just on a couple of weeks ago saying, hey, barring any issues globally, we should be set for a pretty good summer in pricing. And we're actually still there. Barring any major issues right now, obviously, Wall Street Journal's reported that Iran's ready to come to the negotiation table. So hopefully we can get this conflict settled. But unfortunately, that conflict in Ukraine is still on opposite sides at this time.
Yeah, no question. I don't think we're going to get that settled real quickly, but we'll see what happens with Iran. I mean, they've been punched pretty hard a few times now, and their top military leadership has been taken out a couple of different times. You know, the top leadership was taken out, and then the other leadership that was reconstituted was taken out again. Look, here's the problem for Donald Trump, though, and I don't know how this plays in Texas, but about 15% of the people that I'm asking right now online don't want a war in the Middle East and would not support the president if there was a war that the United States was involved in the Middle East. 10% aren't sure. So, you know, 1 person in 4 that are Trump supporters, 1 person in 4 really not bought in on this whole war in the Middle East thing. What do you say to that?
You know, I think any human being doesn't want war anywhere at any time. In fact, I wrote a great piece on my Substack just saying that individuals that are cheering for $100 oil just is grotesque at this time. But I think what maybe we're looking out for here, actually, Steve, is the Strait of Hormuz. We've actually sent our oldest aircraft carrier to the region because the Strait of Hormuz is such an important part of all oil and gas from the Middle East to get to its final destinations globally. And if Iran was to actually shut that down, that's another way we could actually see a disruption and the price of oil skyrocketing and probably staying there would be if that happens. We don't need that global shock. And more importantly, we don't need any type of an economic fallout. So I would like to think that I agree with that 1 and 4 that there's no need for us to be at war right now or at any time. And hopefully we can just continue to walk with this big stick and let Israel handle their business. And hopefully we don't need to get involved.
Yeah, hopefully that's true. I agree with you on that. Hopefully we don't have to get involved. But we've already played some role, RT. I mean, we coordinated with them. We gave the green light. We know that. But it's pretty difficult to say that we're going to. It's just so complicated, RT. That's the problem. And then with the Iranian oil fields, look, Iran supplies oil to China, Russia, North Korea, right? This is 2 to 3 million barrels a day, both above board and out the back door as well, right?
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Keep in mind that here in America, we produce 14 million barrels of oil a day. And before I dive into Iran, and you are correct about Iran's numbers a day, it is because of the hardworking Americans, Steve, in the oil and gas industry that prices of oil didn't spike any higher than what they did last Friday, and why they've come down. Because we produce that 14 million barrels, okay? That is just a testament to all the hard work that they do, that they're producing reliable, abundant, and affordable energy for all Americans, no matter what side of the aisle they're on. And they get up early every morning and provide that. So that's just, again, I just want to do a great shout out to every American out there that's in the industry to keep those prices down. We are really battling and keeping it down, and we're doing a great job. But you hit the nail on the head that Iran produces about 3 million barrels of oil a day, and that's going to places like China, Russia, and India, and hopefully not as much to India here in the near future with the new agreement we have with them. But what we're expecting is that if any more things happen, that hopefully OPEC plus, meaning the United Emirates and Saudi Arabia more precisely, they'll actually be able to pick up that production if we were to actually have issues with the fields in Iran at this time. But, it also just shows that it is such a fragile balance between the global supply and the American supply, and more importantly, the global economy, and that how all these things really do weave together at any time and fashion.
Yeah. It's a complicated world in which we live, RT. That's a fact. What do you foresee? Okay, so let's say that no more of the Iranian fields get hit. It kind of levels out. Where do we go from here? Gas prices, if oil goes up $10 a barrel, what's that mean to a guy like me going to, how much? Nickel, 10 cents, I mean, a dollar, what?
No, nothing that major like a dollar. I'd like to think maybe that 5 or 10 cents. It all depends on the region that you're in, Steve. Let's not forget about people in California that they get a majority of their oil and their products from actually places like Iraq. That's correct, Iraq with a Q. And so it all depends on the area that you're in. We could definitely see maybe a 5 to 10 cent increase, but nothing that should really affect anybody's decision making this summer when continuing to travel. And again, what we see moving forward, I don't see the United States getting into another war. I know we kind of talked about that. We definitely need to stay focused on what we're doing here in America. Again, very thankful. I love President Trump's post the other day. Very thankful of all the No Kings protests. We still don't have any kings in America, so thank them all very much for that. We only had one, and that's our Jesus Christ, and I'm very thankful for him. But right now, the other thing is that investors and also policymakers right now, we're doing our best to stay vigilant and just watch not only the markets, but also what's going on in the Middle East. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time there's been disruption there, and we're expecting it not to be the last time at this time.
No,
So
it wouldn't be. It'd be nice if it was the last time, RT. It'd be nice if we could finally. And that's what Donald Trump, by the way, said on Air Force One. If you missed it, he doesn't want a ceasefire. He wants it to end. And when he means end, he means end forever. RT Trevino, always appreciate you being here, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Donald Trump wants it to end. So do I. Maybe you do as well. Maybe that's why there's such pushback on American involvement in the Middle East or any potential war. Maybe that's why. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Ivy's going to be here. It's an enchanted day on the program whenever she's here, which is most days now. It's the Steve Gruber Show.